Get in, Lionesses! Celebrating with a good Yorkshire cup of tea and a Botham's ginger parking because I'm making a Yorkshire Day pudding. But most of all, I've been watching the Yorkshire Lasses on TV and all the Lionesses, and what they are doing for women's football has been and is transformational. And honestly, the spirit of this game, we need to keep that ease, the ease in which they scored goals. We need to keep that ease into women's sport. I'm one of those women out of many, many women that I know and love, and still women today as well, who had to campaign for a girls' football team at our school. And actually seeing so many role models do incredibly well, may I say, better than men, although they should be paid as much as the men, or at least the men paid less and the women budge up. But it is so powerful for women sports people all over. But just to see how good women's football is, there's been this real thing of like, oh well, it's because obviously they've scored so many goals because the skill's not there, there's this not there. It's not, no, it's because they're incredible at what they do and they've worked hard and they've played incredibly, and they are such advocates for women's sport. But we do need to make sure that this legacy, whatever happens in finals, that this legacy of the Euros in general lives on, because I was part of the build-up to the Women's Euros here in UK this year, and just being part of an environment that was so inclusive, people from all backgrounds, all genders, all walks of life, just joining together to come together in sport, which is what it should be about. It's affordable, and it's actually creating environments where sport is actually at its true core. It's inclusive, it's for everyone, and can really help people's mental health when it is inclusive like that, rather than all these kind of exclusive divisions. So whilst I want women's sport to be put up there with the men's, I don't want it to become exclusive and more expensive for people. I want it always to remain this community spirit, this, you know, like, there's now better, like, I love going to football matches, but there's now better than going to one, do you know, like a really old school stadium where people still have their bovril in a little cup, and, do you know, people are still stood on sidelines rather than kind of like in these huge ginormous stadiums, and that's all well and good, but we want that community spirit in all sports. And but most of all, the inclusive nature of all this is so powerful and so transformational. To see those women do so well, it just gives you that uplifting you need. I'd love to know your thoughts and whether you've got into women's football. I know so many people who've actually got into it finally this summer, from watching it and following them. And honestly, Lionesses is just the perfect name as well, because they are lions and they're going to keep roaring. And as that saying goes, I am woman, hear me roar. Sending you so much peace, love, shimmies and sparkles.